Now it's time to switch over to the relationship side of things on Relationship 360 with me, Onyinyechi Kumakama, and of course my guest Olumide Kayode Omoshibi, whom you'll be hearing from shortly. All right, so it's about time. Wake yourself up, wake your neighbors up, and just tune into the radio and let's learn, hopefully. So without further ado, my guest, he's a lawyer. He is the CEO and the founder Gnosis Help Initiative. His name is Olumide Kayode Omoshibi. Sometimes he likes to call himself the Great Kindness.
Good morning, everyone.
How are you doing? Happy New Month.
Yeah, same to you.
We should have pranked them.
April Fool, it just occurred to me.
I did think about it yesterday or so, but then I remember the last time we did that, and you know how they wanted to storm this place. I said it's too early. It's too early. Let's not even go there. I'm sure some people were expecting some mischief. Who knows? Maybe it's coming. Maybe it's not. Stay tuned to find out. But hope you're well. Family is good.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Good to see you as always.
Same here. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a brand new month. I really want to thank every one of our listeners again for waking up early to listen to me. I really am encouraged. You know, at times I get calls as early as 6 o'clock that please just wanted to be sure, are you coming to the studio today? Text messages.
Oh my God.
And you know, even when I'm feeling lazy, when I see that I have to get up, that I can't disappoint. So thank you very much. I was really praying that April will come, as the madness of the abuse and violence of March was already overwhelming. In March, I stopped counting at the 22nd day because by the 21st day we already had 36 people we had lost to domestic violence in 21 days, which means that in the 31 days of March there were more than 31 casualties, meaning every single day. And some days we had more than one. Last week we dedicated the program to Mrs. Fumi Hosanna, formerly known as Mrs. Fumi Sarah. The stepdaughter confessed that the woman denied her husband access into her bank account when he requested to know her account balance. That was what caused the fight around 4 a.m., which he got an electric cable and tied round her neck and choked her to death with it. She left behind Jumoke Hosanna's 6-year-old daughter, Akinola Hosanna, 8 years old, and Greta Hosanna, which is 10 years old. This is worthy of mention today because she was a listener to our program. She always messaged me, and I had told her since last year that she had to leave. But you know, at times you think you have a little time to just plan. Let me just get this money. The money that was donated for her is still in her bank account. Her salary that was paid as the balance with which she would have moved in to pay her agency fee is still in her account till today. She was killed just an hour before the show began. Before this our show began on the 11th of March. She must have thought to also wake up early to listen to me that day because she never missed it. But unfortunately, may her soul rest in perfect peace. Today, I want to discuss a growing phenomenon in Nigeria now, which is an offshoot of domestic violence and abuse. It grew out of domestic violence and abuse, and it has now taken a life of its own. It has been happening over the years, but it is now out with such venom that it can no longer be ignored. I told you that the more the awareness we make, it seems domestic violence and abuse is fighting back. Now, this phenomenon I call child abduction. Child abduction. Now, the word abduction is a noun, and according to the Oxford Dictionary, means the action of taking someone away by force or by deception. That is, you take someone away by force or deception, the first thing you would know about abduction is that it is not your will. The person did not agree to be taken, but either you use by force or trickery, deception. There are increasing cases of abduction, that's child abduction in marriages and relationships, where a spouse, in order to get at their partner, would decide to use the children to settle scores or to register their grievance. They take the children away and deprive their partners from seeing the children. You go out to work and come back only to find out that your wife has packed her load and left with the children, and her family refuses to let you know where they are. You go, and your husband, that is you, a woman, will go out, and your husband has gone to take the children from school and then taken to his mother's house or taken somewhere, and you come back home and where are the children? And he tells you, Shebi, you say you want to leave, and you can't leave. In fact, he gives you an ultimatum that I give you 2 days to pack your bags and leave, and you say, where are my children? You go to the police, they tell you they can't help you. You know, he's the father of the children. He also has the rights. By February this year, I would like to commend the state CID, that is Kwanti, the State Criminal Investigation Department, because my organization was able to recover 14 children through the state CID by February.
That's great. Well done.
Mostly minors back to their mother who had been taken away from them. But the rising number and the lack of clear print in the execution of the law has made government agencies unable to help them. Listen, the child right law is plain and simple. In cases of separation or whatever, a minor, children will be in custody of their mothers. Secondly, as a mother, you can now not prevent the father from seeing his children. Then you would work out a guideline. Maybe you agree on weekends or half of the holidays. It is there in the child right law. But lots of people have their children taken away from them and haven't seen their children in a while. Do you know how many men have not seen their children in years because the woman just took the children and left? You will go to the police, no way. They will say, you need to go and get a court order. You know how many women had their children taken because the man is wealthy, the man has more money, and they cannot, even to see the children, they cannot. They don't know where they are. They've gone to government agencies. They've gone to domestic violence, domestic and sexual violence agency. Those ones will call. The man will refuse to come. You go to the office of the public defender. They will call the man. The man will refuse to come and say, well, he's taking the case to court, so, he's not coming. You go to the police station. The police are the most uneducated people when it comes to domestic violence and abuse. And I think I make bold to say that you have only few in the gender unit. They need to understand the craziness that it is an offense. Domestic violence and abuse is an offense. The way they tell, especially women in Area C, in the mainland, that's rural area, under Area C, late last year, we had a man who beat his wife, hit her head on the wall, and she passed out. So when he was afraid when he saw that she wasn't moving. So he came, he quickly patted the mother, got some water, and the children saw. The woman, opened her eyes, got up, staggering, did not know what just happened. But when she started recollecting, she made her way out of the house, gave me a call, and I said, go. And I told her, go straight to the nearest police station. She got to the police station, very pretty woman, fantastic job. Got to the police station, not even dressed for purpose. That escape, you were already, it was at night. So she was already, she got there and told the policemen. The policemen were even angry that, because her head was a bit swollen. While they were writing, the DPO comes in and, sees her, what's the problem? Then I'll call the man. The man goes in and start telling the DPO, well, you know, everything has a reason. You see, this woman, she has denied me sex for so long, and you know, and the woman said, so if I deny you sex, that means you should kill me. This gentleman, you that almost raped our house help, you are dating our own neighbor in the same house. You will be the one to carry another woman to work and bring the woman back from work, and you are telling me that I should come, and you in the house, you threaten me, you tell me to pack out, and you are here telling people that I deny you sex. How? Me that I am always hiding. And the DPO in his audacity said, you see, he has said it all. When you don't give your husband sex, you know, these are the things that happen. So before you write your statement, go home and sleep with him, then come back and then write the statement.
Are you joking?
I am not joking. I had to tell her to record it. That, you know what?
I'm sorry.
Play it again. She said she's standing there. The DPO said she should go back, sleep without that. It is sex that is causing the problem. Now that we know the problem, just give him the sex. By the time, come back. I said,
DPO. So this is somebody
DPO,
that also, I mean, we believe has
forget,
risen up the ranks.
that one is small. When I tell you that police officers are the most ill-equipped, you will find a female police officer. I told you the one that happened was that in Shomolu some years ago, about 3-4 years ago. A woman had been hospitalized 15 times in 3 months. That I told them during, it was just when this million boys, what were the $1 million boys?
I mean, sorry.
Those 100,000 boys.
When they were harassing people in Lagos.
Yes,
I remember.
the man locked her out of the house at night when those boys were terror. So she went to the human rights section, and the woman there called the man and said, how can you lock a pregnant woman out? The woman had to lay down in the gutter just to hide, because a woman in her pajamas, in her nightie, had an argument and you locked her out of the house. He came to the police station, and then they said, okay, let her sleep in the night, tomorrow morning. And they went back. As they were going back, the guy walked fast in front and then got unlocked the gate before she got the same thing again. But because it wasn't safe, this woman had to sit down. Then we got there. It followed me. I had to leave where I was when she called me. It was a doctor from a hospital on the island that called me that this lady, we might lose her to this pregnancy. Admitted 15 times in 3 months with pregnancy. I went to the police station. After they had invited the gentleman said, well, he can't even talk, that she should go and call her father, that it was from the father he connected this woman, that the father should come, that she's not going to move her things until the father comes to me. I said her father will come.
Oh, you don't want us.
So I said they should wait, I'm coming. And the father also came. The father now started begging this gentleman, and I looked at the officer there. That you see a woman in abuse, she's barely standing because she had been outside overnight. And you are saying, it's true, go and call your father. By the time I got there, I just said, you know what, I don't even have anything to say. I said, what is this falls under, is it area F? I was still, so I called one of the superiors and said, what area is it? Because I wanted to call the area commander. So when they saw that, you know, they went to get the CRO, they, you know, that they didn't know who I was. I said, you told this woman to go and call her father. When the man locked her overnight, let her now go back to her father's house. The man refused to. He said, you know, we are not this. By the time I took it up, I said, whoever put you here as this human rights officer here, what is your position? What's your post? So she still didn't know who it was. So she was, you know, careful. She was like, sir. It was when the father came, all of them, the woman now quickly called me. That do I know that even she, that is the officer, that her own husband beat her as well. She now showed me her neck. That end, they said that, you know, we can't go anywhere. So why would, if she can't go, why would somebody else want to go? These are the people that you are putting there as human rights, that don't know what it is to save it. So because her own husband is beaten, they can't save themselves. You now say that because, you know, she can't go, they've told her that she should stay, and then so where is that? Where's everybody going? This one happened to me here live. That day I was the one that drove to the house to park the lady's thing in my car, and I drove her to another location. Listen, this inefficiency of law enforcement, excuse me. The issue is that they are stealing children, taking children away from their parents. Men have not seen their children. Women have their children taken away from them. And I find out that most of the people who adopt their own children usually have the family support, their own family members support them. So when you call their family, they'll say, one was saying in the police station that when the woman came, did she bring children? That when we married her, did she come with children? And I say, when your son also married, did he come with a child? So you will not. Let me tell you the worst one. Let me tell you the worst one. The woman was it was the first year of their marriage. You know, this marriage that the mother-in-law did not want the son to marry. And I always tell you people, it is not up to I love him. Look at the family you are marrying into. When you see that this person might have a good heart, but is overwhelmed by family pressure, that is, the family controls his decisions. You need to leave that kind of person alone. This woman, first pregnancy, she had baby because she was in an abusive, and the abuse was not coming from her husband, it was coming from family members. The mother-in-law made it clear that they didn't want her, and the father-in-law was just quiet. The mother-in-law was in charge. Pregnancy came, the labor was prolonged, it was going to 30 hours. So she was getting faint. The doctor just made a split-second decision that, you know what, we bring out this, we need to take it out. So they did a CS. They brought out the baby. The father was right there. And, cleaned up the baby. The woman was unconscious because she was weak. Now, almost a day after she opens her eyes, the mother-in-law had come to the hospital and taken a baby that was just delivered, that the woman almost lost her life to deliver. Took the baby, not even thinking that this baby would need breast milk or in the care, in a safe and a place without infection. She took the child right out of the hospital. The husband was standing there saying, "Mama, can you come?" And she said, "This one our own. That whatever the lady wants to do," and took the child to Benin from Lagos.
A baby that's barely
a baby that was just a day old, barely a day old, from Benin to Lagos. That woman till today has not seen the child that she gave birth to. God. She doesn't know how the child looks like. She's just begging that, you know what? Let me just even know, did he make the trip to Benin? Is the child alive? Let them just tell me.
And what's her husband saying? So he too, he does not know where his son is.
The husband too has, the marriage is over because the husband had to follow the mother-in-law said, "Come here."
So the husband cannot even
just show me a picture. Let me know that my son is alive. Till today. Listen, I tell you that you cannot marry into any family that does not like you. You say you think your love is going to, someone said my love will be enough for two of us. Some said, the Christian fallacy that they say, okay, when you show them your good deeds, they will love you. Let me tell you something, no matter how you are nice to a snake will always bite. There is no, give the snake food. It is not your responsibility to make people like you. As you are talking, some people hate Jesus, some people hate God. Then who are you that people cannot hate? What good deeds do you have more than Jesus Christ or more than God himself that people hate that you want to show them to love you? God gave his only son to die for you, still you hate him. So what do you want? Must you die, shed your own blood as well? And still they will tell that useless girl. Now, my problem, they go to the police will say go and bring a court order. They go to DSVA will invite the spouse will refuse to come. They go to OPD is now a joke. It's now a joke. I'm a lawyer. The OPD is now a joke. You go there, it's either unprofessionalism or they will try to, there are some people that will try, they will call the man will refuse, that is not coming, and that is the end. They go to the Ministry of Justice, nothing. You see a long row of people that don't know what, then they now start calling me from the office, there's even somebody that it was right there in the office of the OPD, someone just gave my number. I am not a government agency. I'm not paid. They pay them to do this work. I'm not paid to do this work. But why must it get there? The law is that the children will be in custody of their mothers. Why is it that they cannot enforce that law? The police that are meant to enforce, they will say they can't enforce because... So what is wrong with Lagos State? A father has not seen his... They've taken so many men. They have not seen their children. The woman will just take the children somewhere, take to her village, and then the man will be paying school fees of children that he has not seen. He will be sending monthly allowance for children. When they come, I tell them to stop it. You say, no, I say, stop it. How can you be paying for what you can? You don't even know if the child is alive. You don't even know that the child is going to the school. What is the name of the school you are paying to? You don't know. They say, they will just send message, the school fees is. Why are they taking the children in the first place? You take a child away from the city, you take to the village, and then the children will be broken. You know why? How it affects me? Because it is their broken children that will marry my own sane child. And a broken child will grow up to break another woman. A hurt people hurt people. Do you understand? Broken men, damaged men, they damage their relationships. And that is how it goes on. You think it doesn't concern you. Wait, do you know who your own child is going to marry in future? And then you will be looking for it. They will repeat this cycle of abuse. Let me even stop there. We have two guests in the studio right now. Do we have a bit of time? Okay, very good. We have two guests in the studio. Madam Grace and Madam Goodness. In fact, we have Grace and Goodness. So let me start with you, Madam Grace. Could you briefly just tell us what your situation is with the children? We have about 8 minutes, please.
Okay, so my name is Grace Oropo. I have 2 children. So it all started in 2016. So I was separated. I mean, me and my husband. His name is Kayode Afuwape. So from that 2016, that was 6 or 5 years ago now. So my son was 5 years then. My baby was 45 days old when it happens. So from there, I learned he traveled to South Africa. But since that year, I didn't deprive them from seeing the children. So I normally go to the family house.
So were you married?
No.
Okay, so both of you were lovers, I think.
Yes.
Since
secondary
when?
Secondary school.
Oh, both of you have been dating since SS2.
SS2.
Wow.
So
14, 15 years?
Yes, together before the children.
children.
Yes.
Why didn't you marry?
The family didn't allow that to happen.
The family didn't want you? They don't like you or what?
They didn't show it. I didn't see it in them that they didn't want me. But I think privately they don't want me.
So
they didn't show it to me.
You had 2 children, still no marriage?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Quickly.
So it was 2021. Fast forward to 2021 on Children's Day, as usual. He said I should bring the children for visitation. I went there. I dropped my children as usual. So by Saturday I will go back to pick them. So that's fateful Saturday. I went there. He said, okay, but I can only see my daughter. He was bringing my daughter. I said, where is my son? That is Pamela. I said, where is my son? He said, my son is in the hospital. He's sick. He's that. I said, how? And you didn't call me. I didn't know. Okay, let me see him. Let us go to the hospital. Let me see him. He said, no, I cannot see him. Come back after 1 week. I said, no, now.
Was there anybody, no nurse or doctor was vigilant enough to see that the man was not?
Let me introduce you to our...
Why are you getting married?
I like when Onyinye starts getting, Onyinye, you should come and work with us for some time. Good morning, everybody. This is Madam Goodness, one of our guests. All the same story about child abduction. Please say hello to them.
Hello everyone, good morning.
Good morning. You'll soon hear her story. We have like 2 minutes. Let me introduce Madam Grace. Good morning, everybody. This is Madam Grace that you just heard the voice. Say hello to our
Good
people.
morning, good morning, everybody.
So you get a first-hand look at all of us. You will hear the story soon.
Thank you.
Thank you for, is it logging on, following, or watching us live? I really appreciate it.
Before we went off on that break, Grace was speaking and I interjected because I wanted to know what led to the separation of you and your partner, seeing as you had been together since you were in SS2, so that was about 14 to 15 years before you then had children.
Yes.
So I'm curious, what led to the separation?
Yes, I can't say a thing. I can't pinpoint a thing like this because what I know was he traveled to Malaysia. So I think he came back to surprise me on my birthday. That is where the problem started. The woman, the mother-in-law and the sister-in-law was telling him, why did you come? Why did you come all the way from Malaysia to surprise her to do this? And she's using candle, she's using juju on you. She's that is all.
Okay, so back to the story. You came back, he said your son was in the hospital and you wanted to see him.
Yes. So the father-in-law, I mean, is that Mr. Kolawole Afuwape.
Okay, go ahead.
Was telling me that they will give you your son, he's coming, so was not telling the son to run away.
Telling his own son to run.
Yes.
Your son.
He didn't bring him.
Okay.
He only bring
the girl, your daughter.
girl, my daughter. So I was like, I want to see my son. Whether you like it. People came in this morning, I will die. But I want to see my son. So I stayed in that house throughout that day. So I didn't go back. I called my family. So if I'm dead, just come to Olomo. To come and pick me. So from there I went to the following day that was on Sunday. I went to Isheri police station. That is a nearby police station. I went to Isheri police station. I met a woman police and she was calling him. He was declined. Yes, he didn't pick up. So the woman advised me to go to human rights, that I should just go first to go and take care of myself because I'm mad already. So I went to Alausa human rights. After months, they didn't call me. So I was even crying, please, I want to see my son. I want to do this, I want to do that. So
how old was your son then?
10.
Okay.
So they called him. He acknowledged the letter and came. So I now find out that it was what he wants they did, not what they're supposed to.
So the Human Rights Office did what your son's father wanted.
Yes.
They didn't follow due process. They just did what he wanted.
Interesting. He told them that let me bring the son and interview him. I said it was just a minor. No, I didn't. I said no, let him bring him. At the end of the day, they asked me, the son, I spoke with my son, they asked me, so fast forward to another, to that, at the end of the story, nothing came out from it.
This was how many years ago?
It's 2 years plus now, 2 years plus.
So if you haven't seen your son in over 2 years?
Yes.
You haven't spoken to him?
In over 2 years, you have not seen your son?
You haven't spoken to him, you don't know if he's...
Yes. I went to OPD again. But the woman in charge of that case told me, he said he's coming back on Monday, to come and sign maybe how we're going to share the holidays, and then how he will pay my daughter's upkeep and all that. He said, okay, let me go outside. He went outside to meet his family. Coming back, he said, okay, by Monday I will come back, and he wants to go and think about it. I said, come and sign now. Yes. Okay. The woman said, madam, Monday, come back, come and sign. He said it's Monday that he will come back. Okay, you to come back on Monday. I said, okay, no problem. I came on Monday, same thing. I stayed. I said, okay, madam, come, brother Kayode, Abi. What will I call him now? Call him now. Said Kayode is not a baby and she cannot use rope to go and drag Kayode.
And these are the people that
Okay.
occupying these positions.
So that was it. I gave up. That's okay. If government cannot help me, if the human rights cannot help me, who then will now come to my head?
So how do you get-
OPD?
Yeah, it was later after 6 months. I tried OPD again. The help of my younger brother said, okay, let's go to OPD again. Same thing happens.
So how did you get Olumide's number then?
Sir,
How did you get Olumide's number?
through his program.
Okay, so you listened to it.
Yes.
So, OPD, what happened?
OPD, same thing that happens.
Did they invite him?
They called him, he didn't come. So instead of him, the woman said the lawyer called or the lawyer came. Their lawyer, that his clients cannot come. And that is all. The woman said she's going to transfer me to another place again. I said, I've been coming here for months and you didn't tell me that.
Police station, you
Yes.
went to Alausa.
Yes.
Where in Alausa exactly? Or was it? Which one?
Citizen, Mara Citizen.
Citizen and Mediation Center.
Yes.
Where you went?
Yes.
Or Women Affairs or
Citizen
And then you now went to OPD.
OPD.
Then you now came to my own.
Yes.
So,
It was because I gave up already. I've already said, okay.
so what has now
What-
been happening? What has now been
What led me to Mr. Olumide was last year, I got to know that even the father is no more in Nigeria. And my son has been going, yes, from one house to another, from one pastor's house, that is their own pastor, yes, from that pastor's house to the sister's house, from the sister's house to the brother's house. I was
How did
not-
you even find this
when
out?
the
How did you
mother
know about
is
this
alive,
movement?
huh? Okay, you okay.
You want to call his name?
No.
Ah, okay.
No. So you found that information by
Yes.
your own
Ah, okay.
investigation.
Yes,
Okay, I
yes.
see, I see. Okay.
So,
Okay.
so what has now happened? When you came to me, how far?
Yes. I was even happy because what took me months from OPD and Human Rights Office ahead. Mr. Olumide, it just took 2 days. I think, yes, 2 days. Because they invited them to Bansi.
Okay.
They came yesterday. But the father was still telling me yesterday that
For the father of
the
the
father-in-law.
So there are two
father-
fathers now. Okay, so
the
your
father, yes, the father-in-law.
ex-husband's father. They just refer to him as
Yes.
ex-husband now because that's just easier.
Mr. Kayode,
Okay,
father,
okay.
I will finish you. That he's going to finish me. He vowed that I will not set my eyes on him. Yes, that he's going to finish me up. Nǹkan tó bá gbà la máa fi fún, I'll finish it. That is,
I
I
saw
don't.
the old man, it's
But
amazing.
let me ask, how's your daughter doing, by the way? I mean, separation from a sibling. How's she
That
handling
is why I'm fighting. That bond, I don't want it to fade away.
How many
Because
years
she's
in between them?
5 years.
Okay.
She's the only, is the only person she knows. Her best friend, her father, as in her brother. She didn't know anybody.
It seems this is the only man you have known in your life.
Yes, I told you.
Since secondary
Secondary school is the one that
Till
just
now.
till now.
Jesus. It is well. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Grace.
Goodness.
Madam
Person
Goodness,
is
how
already
are you?
in
She's
tears and
already
she's
in
not
tears.
even
Ah.
speaking
Oh,
yet.
God.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you need a moment? Do you need a moment? You can take it. No pressure. No pressure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I mean, a WhatsApp message, Damien from Ijesha said crazy things are happening. And Damien, I'm with you right there. Crazy things are really happening. So, okay, yeah.
Even the family, this Kayode family, they told me after that visitation to Alausa and OPD, no, they didn't go to OPD. That okay, Shebi, you said you can go. They have money, they have power, and they have juju. This that
And they were accusing you of doing juju before. Can you
It
imagine?
is well. Madam Goodness.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
It
goodness.
is well. It's just okay. 5 minutes.
Just
Let's
to
not
make it
take
very brief, so we
brief
don't-
so that
Yeah.
she's
So it's
really
not
emotional.
easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine started in 2007 when I met my husband. So we didn't date that much. So along the line, I took him for my first child. So when I gave birth to my first child, and I actually went travel for his elder brother wedding to him. Like, so unfortunately, I have to give birth a day before the wedding day. So when I gave birth to the baby in the hospital, so on the wedding day I was discharged. So when I came home, I found out something very terrible where my elder brother husband was
The husband's
my
older brother.
my husband elder brother
Okay.
was cutting his newly wedded bride that day that he should bring the money that they spray them on the wedding out, that he need the money. So the lady was like, the money, the most people that come to the wedding, since her father was working in NTA, is her father colleague that sprayed the money, and besides, by rights the money is hers, that is the bride that owns the money. So he called the lady that she passed out, in the sense that
Cut the lady. What do you mean by cut?
with knife.
I'm sorry, what?
With knife, he used a knife to butcher the lady all over her body.
Ah.
And my mother-in-law was watching, like that she don't know the family that she married into, that she think that it's child's play, that she has to bring the money out.
Oh, her mother-in-law was threatening the bride.
The older brother of her husband,
Mhm.
that is the mother of her husband, was also there
Yeah.
while her son was beating
Now, so the
and
mother-in-law
cutting.
was watching
Yes.
her daughter-in-law
Yes.
be oppressed and was even
Yeah.
contributing to it.
Yeah, so
Uh-uh.
in the evening of their wedding evening, they didn't have honeymoon. The guy has to carry the lady that was looking lifeless to where they were stitching her. They have to stitch her all over where she was cut. So that was like the most terrifying day of my life. Like, I was like, what have I gotten myself into? So along the line, I also when I finally went back to Lagos, like after the whole scenario, he started abusing me when my baby was 7 months physically. He was abusing me physically and verbally, to the point that he told me that his elder sister said that I can never be married to their family, in the sense that she have married in my tribe and the marriage did not work out, and he will not live to watch his brother marry from my tribe. So the hatred was already there from the beginning, but since the fact that I always I don't have plan B in my life, I always invest all my life in making sure that my plan A works. Like, I didn't see marriage like something that you go and come back. So I was determined to stay, and I was very, very prayerful at that point. And I could actually tell you that God really see me through. So along the line, I was being abused physically, emotionally, and all manner of abuse. So I stayed there. I had my second child. I have my third child. And from my third child to where I am now, I've lost 3 pregnancies through abuse. So, and I have to undergo evacuation. So along the line, it was so bad that I've never spent 1 year living with him. Whenever he beats me, he throw me out of the house. I have to go with my parents and
With
stay.
your child or with
Yes, with my child or children. So
Every year, how many years were you?
3 times, 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times. in a
How
year.
many years were you married? How long were you married?
I'm married for 8 years now officially, but the whole relationship lasted for 15 years.
Or you've
So
known
you
him?
dated for
Yeah, 7 years
before getting married.
So the 8 years you were married to him, you said that every year you separate.
Yes, it's about 3 to 4 times every year, because I have to. Most time he throw me out. Other time I have to run for myself,
Right.
and then he'll come and beg me that it was the devil work, that I should come back, that he's a changed person. So the reason why I keep going back, I never knew I was suffering from trauma born, and the fact that I know that
Stockholm syndrome.
if I didn't go back, he would take away the children from me. So I was trying to always be there with my children. So along the line, a lot of things happened. In 2019, when he threw me out, when my mother came visiting, when I had my last child, he threw me out around past 1 a.m. in the night. And when my mother was like, I've had a lot of things that you did to my daughter, and in my presence, you have the nerves to do this to my daughter. he told my mother that if my mother did not shut up and keep quiet, that he would send her to go and meet her late husband. So that night, I walked out and he threw my things out. So that moment I was having suicidal thought because I stayed in the island. I have to walk with my baby down to Tottenham Bridge. I was contemplating why not just like end this embarrassment that you've caused yourself all these things. So at the same time, it doesn't matter stop. I was like, where are you going? I said, Charlie boy. So it doesn't matter. I said, okay. With this baby at this ungodly hour, so and I told the man that I actually have a load inside the barrack that I was thrown out by my husband.
By
so,
barrack, is he a military man or?
He's actually a police officer.
What is his rank?
He's an ASP, 1 star.
Police officer.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
So the gentleman took me inside the barrack, helped me to pack my load because my last child was just barely 4 months and I gave birth to him premature and he was also through C-section. So the gentleman was an elderly man, so he packed my things and took me to my sister's house in Charlie Boy. So when he took me there, he didn't take a dime from me. Even inside the car, he was even running costs on the man that did such thing to me. So I stayed with my sister for 3 months. He started coming with people forcefully. He first started coming forcefully to take the children back. I want the children to go to school. He don't want me. He have already discarded me. I was the one forcing myself to stay with him. So later he now started coming softly. So when he started coming softly, at that point I was like, since he have already made me an handicap, he didn't allow me to work that which police wife is going to work here. That all of them are contented because the man can take care of the house. That the reason why women go and work because they want to experience other men. So along the line, at that point, I was not working. So I have to go back. So someone advised me that I should take him to human rights if going back is my real choice now. So I now took him to human rights in Pedro Police Barrack. So where he have his sign that he will never abuse me. He even steals my shocking. The manner of abuse he does is that when he comes to me, the first thing he do is to seize my phone so I won't get in touch with anybody. So he now attacked me, seize my phone, seize my shop key. So you also write that.
You had a shop.
Yes, I have a mini kiosk in the container body where I sell small something as of that time.
Mm-hmm.
So when that happened, he said, let's go home first. When we get home, because we stay in the mainland, then we will now go to Onikom. Then that's when he will sign. I said, no, if you are serious about taking me back and you are repented, we are going to sign here where I am now. So he now later go that day and come back and say, okay, he's ready. I never knew whether he went to first of all go and bribe people there in that human rights. So there we went to sign. He was tipping all of them. At the end of the day, we left. I followed him back in that 2019. That is when I discovered that my first son, who was just 10 years old, was now masturbating because he watched porn a lot in the house. So I called the boy, what is this? He said, I used to see it in daddy's phone and beside. So at that point in my life, I regretted going back, but I was stuck because financially I was.
Okay, it's okay. Take a break. Relax.
So that was what happened in 2019, that I had him to go and sign a human rights in Pedro police station. So that doesn't make any difference because when we get home, the abuse was now verbally and emotionally. He was not abusing me physically as of 2019, 2020 and 2021. So now in 2022 November, he come out physically, and when he abused me, he told me that I should go back to human rights, that he's now untouchable, he's an ASP, that nobody can harass him, that now they can only serve him paper, nobody can harass him, that he's a senior officer, that I should go back to human rights and tell them that he has come out physically again on me. So last year, he now gave me a quick notice that I should leave his house, that I irritate him, that I should leave his house. And by that time, I already started allowing him to sleep with me because it was like torture. Everything in my life, it was like my whole world already crumbled before me.
Take a breath.
Unfortunately, January 5th, someone now told me that the best place you could go is Ministry of Justice Alausa. So when I went there, I told them that I'm about to look at my story. They were so pissed off that how could you stay that long? How could you stay in such an environment and raise kids that worship and abuse? So they asked, okay, fine, it's not too bad. Okay, what do you want? I said, what I want is restriction order. I don't want him. I know he will not take care of me financially. So I just want a restriction order because he is so thoroughly that he like poisoning. He like poisoning the mind of children. And he had never taken accountability. He always like, hey, the children, do you see the reason why I reacted to your mother like that is because she's the cause. She's the cause. Before he used to say that he's the devil work, but later he doesn't really care about saying that. He will just say that the way I will treat you in this life, I'll make your life a living hell. You have to leave this house by force. So on the 7th of January, I actually got the courage to move out. So when I moved out, I took my kids to my elder brother's place.
All 3 of them?
4 of them.
4, okay, they're
Yeah.
fine.
So when I took my kids to my elder brother's place, I kept them there because my work is, my sister's place is closer. So I was going to work, coming back, so weekend I'll go and see my children. So later, I now bring my last child to come stay with me because I feel that he needs me because for him to sleep, he has to lie down in my body and play with my body. So I went to work one day. He now come and took my last child from my sister's place where I was staying. 2 weeks later, he now came to take the remaining children. My sister denied him access to come inside the house. So he now went to Pedro police station, take police to come and have my children and my sister arrested to the police station. Getting there, the DPO now said, go with the kid. The children said, we can never go with this man. He said, will you shut up? Is that what your mother is telling you? Why would you call your father this man? And you have to go with him. They said, lie, except their mother is back from work. So the DPO called me and I have to run from Ireland, all the way from Ireland and come back. So when I came back, he said, do you know this man? I said, yes, it's my children's father. He said, okay, why do you take his children away from him? So and I said, DPO, this matter is above you. This matter is being handled by Lagos State government as Ministry of Justice allows. And he said, he didn't tell me all that. So when I now open up a little bit to him and how he took the last child, the DPO now said that he will have him locked up himself. That first and foremost, he should go and bring the last child. It's not up to like 40 minutes. He that stays in Ireland has already brought the last child. So I was like, could it be that he came with the last child maybe and keep him somewhere just to take the other? So at the end of the day, he brought the last child. 2 weeks down the line, that was
so the DPO made sure that
yes.
he gave you the children back
yes.
after hearing your side.
Yes.
Okay.
So now he took the last child. So now 2 weeks later, that was on the 15th of February. I was sick, so I got office that I'm not feeling too well. They said take your time. So because my boss have been very helpful. So now at the end of the day, on that 15th of February, he now came with one man. He said he's an gender official. So I've been to gender, I've been to defense office.
Which gender?
The one in the Ikeja Police Command.
Okay.
So that's when anyway. So the man said he's from gender, that this young man here, that's my ex, came and laid the complaint that I took his kids away and denied him access and the children are not in school. Is it true? I said something like that. He said I should come with him. I said, sir, as you can see, I'm very sick. He said, madam, don't allow me to harass. The way the man was talking, he was not talking like a government official. So I was like, let me see the end of this. I called my first son who was 14 to come and hold me. Like, let's come and support me. Let's see what this is all about. So we went together. When we get there, they say, write your statement. See your husband said, right. I said, I can't write a statement. This is how far I've gone because of this case. So and I found that all those people there were police. So they were now attacking me. You are living a man. You don't even have money to rent out for yourself. Is that how you live a man? You are very, very stupid, useless woman. So the way they were coming after me, they said this man must go with the children. And hey, they have to take motor to go and bring the remaining 3 children to come to that office so that the man will go with the children. I said no, over my dead body. So I was like, let me call my case manager. He said nobody can call. So let me tell you something. This material you won't drag this man. This man is a law enforcement agent, and that a serving police member can never be taken to court. If you don't know, let me just tell you, you have already lost the battle, madam. So when I was like trying to like see if my God can save me that day, they started harassing me. Oh yeah, take off your earring, take off your chain, take off your this. We are going to lock you up. Do you know that not sending children under 2 months to school is against Lagos State law?
Now they know the law.
Yes, they were now putting law for me. So I was now, okay, ma, these are the move I've made to send my children to school. I went to their
former woman.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Most of them were women in the office. So and I said, just look at the move I've made to send my children to school. I went back to their former school, which was government school, to go and get a transfer letter. The principal told me that transfer letter will not cover the children going to new school, that I need another transfer letter from
You know what's going to happen? In less than a minute, I need to go on a break, and I really don't want you to go through this, emotions again coming back. I'd love for that break to serve as a break for you too. But can you just tell us right now, what is the update? Are you seeing your children? Do you have them? Were they taking? Very brief.
So on that February 15, those gender official, they forcefully take the children away.
Oh.
Yes, all 4 of them. And for the fact that he watched porn, so I'm now like,
wait, they took the gender office Ikeja took the children from you and gave it to him.
Yes.
What did they do with you?
They wanted to lock me up. They have me remove your bra. We are going to lock you up for violating the law.
Stripped you?
Yes. So when they were taking me to,
stripped you,
yes,
the mother.
they said remove your earring, remove everything. You have to remove your bra. We are taking you to cell.
Okay.